And the African Transformation Movement has organized nationwide regional prayer and readiness rallies simultaneously across all 9 provinces. So the main event with party leader Vuyo Zungula is taking place in Ngqeleni in the Eastern Cape. For more on this, SABC News reporter Fundiswa Mhlekude is joining us now live. Fundiswa, a very good morning to you indeed. Thanks for your time. Also a last-minute push for that political party. What are residents in that area saying, as well as supporters and members of that political party?
Well, thank you very much, Griselda. We are in Ngqeleni, as you just said, and we are at the home village of the founder of the African Transformation Movement, the ATM, or rather Professor Caesar Nongunga. And we are here at the community hall that was built and officially opened last year. But we do have the supporters, the ATM here, who will be telling us their expectations. Thank you very much, guys. What are your expectations? We know that young people are facing a lot of challenges, among them unemployment as well as crime. And we were speaking to young people in a village that we went to in Flagstaff. They were complaining about unemployment, complaining about rape. What are the challenges that are facing you guys?
Oh, okay. Thank you. I think unemployment right now, it's the biggest challenge that the youth is facing, and I think it has to be dealt with. And we don't have any other expectation, but we know that Vuyo Zungula is going to set us free when it comes to unemployment. Because if you can listen to our manifesto, it talks about also helping out the SMMEs that are not being funded by the government. And I think that it should form part in actually to reduce unemployment in South Africa. And yeah, there's a lot of things, but unemployment right now, it's what's frustrating the youth. And also the crime rate in South Africa, it's actually very, very high. And you know, as a female, you can't even go anywhere else without fearing for your life, without fearing that you're gonna get raped. So those are the challenges that we want them to be corrected. And with Vuyo, what he was saying, our president, that crime should be dealt with decisively, and that's we're hoping that ATM is gonna cover us when it comes to it.
This rally taking place in a rural village and in rural areas. We know the kind of challenges that are faced by rural people. Do you know those challenges?
Yes, I mean, in our country right now, they actually ignoring the rural areas. And you know, there's a lot of people that are living here. People actually leave their rural areas to go to cities to actually get jobs there, of which I feel like we can actually have industrial areas where people are be able to work here in the rural areas. So I feel like we have to look into rural areas, because there are a lot of challenges that are facing the rural areas. Even if when you take it, the infrastructure itself, it's actually the biggest issues, because now taking someone from a rural area to a clinic, maybe a health facility, it's a challenge, because now they have to go through a gravel road, and which those are the things that I feel like they should be looked at.
Thank you very much. As a young person, what are the challenges that you would rather the ATM tackle?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. The first challenge that ATM were hoping that when they are sent to the union buildings, they are going to tackle is the issue of education system, which we know that our education system currently does not respond to the current needs of the economy. We need an education system that responds to the needs of the economy, because the economy is it's what keeps the country going. So now we cannot have an education system that does not give us skills which will respond to the needs of the economy. Secondly, we are hoping that for ATM, once it gets to Parliament, in union buildings, they are going to look at the issue of unemployment, because when you see the youth of this country is unemployed, the youth of this country is stressed and have those challenges. Now ATM is saying they are going to open those factories that we used to have in our country, to make sure that we create more jobs. And also ATM is saying that 10 million government contracts and less, they must be directed to SMMEs. We know that SMMEs are the biggest jobs creators in the country. Therefore, we need ATM to intervene in that space to make sure that those factories are open, and also the microeconomy. ATM is saying that they are going to reserve the microeconomy strictly for the citizens of this country. It cannot be that in the economy we are dominated by a few players. We need more players, diverse players in the microeconomy. So that's how we're going to create jobs. That's how the youth of this country is going to be inclusively in terms of economy.
And in terms of crime, the ATM was calling on the return of death penalty. What is your take on that? Because a number of people think that this will not be good because some people will be put to death penalty while they are innocent. What is your take on that?
As the youth of this country, we fully support the introduction of capital-based punishment, which is death penalty, because ATM does not talk about the death penalty that was existing before. It's not a reintroduction of the death penalty, but it's an introduction of the death penalty that seeks to bring peace and harmony in the community for those people who are refusing to coexist with others, those who are committing heinous crimes. We know the murder of Ngqeleni is not the first time offender. He was imprisoned for the same crime that he did. Then he went out of the prison and then did do the same crime. So we know those crimes, those people who are refusing to coexist with other people, those people must face the might of the law.
Thank you very much. Young people of the ATM are saying that the government should make sure that jobs are created for rural people, and the opening of factories that are closed that used to play an important role in making sure that people are employed. And another issue that they are raising is the issue of infrastructure in rural areas, and they are saying that it is very bad. Just on our way here, we had to go to a very bad road, and the leader of the ATM is also here, Mr. Vuyo Zungula. You started the ATM was formed in 2018, and after the elections you got 4 seats, 2 in Parliament and 1 in the Eastern Cape and 1 in KwaZulu-Natal. What is your hope this year for these government elections?
ATM is definitely going to grow this year. In 2019, if you recall, that people did not know what we stand for. They did not experience the kind of contribution that we're going to have in Parliament. However, ever since we got to Parliament in 2019 up until now, a lot of people have seen the contributions of the ATM, from dealing with the questions of the abuse of power, by holding the executive accountable, by dealing with policy issues whereby we're advocating for change in some of the policies, and also dealing most importantly with the bread and butter issues, the issue of the lack of water infrastructure, the issue of lack of the issue of pit toilets that we find in most of our schools. So what we are hoping for, and we are guaranteed to have as the ATM, is growth that is going to surprise everyone. It is growth that is going to shock everyone, because when the numbers are coming up, when the results are announced, ATM will be declared the winner of these elections.
Okay, Mr. Zungula, let us talk about the issue of crime. And we spoke to the young people here. They are saying that they support the issue of the return of death penalty. Because most people were saying that this will deter voters from voting for the ATM, because they believe that death penalty is very harsh, is too harsh.
Look, in South Africa there is a death penalty. However, the death penalty is on innocent, law-abiding citizens. If you have 85 people being murdered every day, that is a death penalty. What we are calling for then as the ATM is now to punish the people that are enforcing death penalty on innocent citizens. You'd recall that this week there was a very, very horrendous video whereby SASCO employees were shot dead, brutally shot dead whilst working in Cape Town. That is the kind of society that we are living in, whereby innocent people are afraid of criminals. Innocent people are living in jail in their own homes because they are afraid of criminals. So our proposal as the ATM is to increase the number of police by employing all of the police reservists, training them well so that they are able to investigate the crime, so that those crimes that are committed, the eventual arrests and prosecutions, paying the police well, but most importantly, get rid of the corrupt and criminal criminal elements in the police system, because Sinama police are sebenzisana with criminals, police who are protecting drug dealers, police who are protecting criminals. However, the death penalty is the last recourse for people that are beyond rehabilitation. So, and it is not a case whereby you are saying that the automatic sentence for anyone that is killed is a death penalty. We are saying that extenuating circumstances for heinous crimes, that the appropriate sentence must be the death penalty.
Lastly, Mr. Zungula, let's talk about the issue of infrastructure, our roads and bridges in rural areas. There are towns that were, like Port St. John's, that were hit by floods last year, but the bridges are still impassable.
Yeah, you know, that goes back to the problem of poor leadership, which people must correct on the 29th of May. Precisely because Eastern Cape has got a budget, whether it's for education, infrastructure, the roads, but you find that on a yearly basis they are returning money back to National Treasury, money that they should have utilized to build bridges, build schools, and make sure that the infrastructure in the province is well. Because once you've got proper infrastructure, then the economy of the province is going to be able to flourish. The tourism industry is going to also flourish, because the infrastructure is enabling the growth of the economy and dealing with the lived realities of the people. However, with poor leadership that do not put the interests of the people first, we are still going to have all of these problems. However, if people on the 29th of May, they vote for leaders from the ATM who have proven that with only 2 seats, they were bold enough to challenge the sitting executive. With only 2 seats, they were able to make their impact felt in Parliament, precisely because we as a party, we want what is best in the interest of the people.
And lastly, we hear that you will be leaving after making a speech inside. Where will you be going?
We are going to Ikhaya Lomoya, the Revelation Spiritual Home. We are attending a service in Joburg tomorrow morning. We have a good relationship with the spiritual home. So since it is the last Sunday before the elections, we felt it necessary that we go there and also encourage Amasosha to vote for ATM, because there is so much in common that we have, and in the past couple of months we've got good relations that we have with Inkosi Omoya or Dr. Khadebe. So we want as the ATM to attend that service tomorrow.
Thank you very much. The leader of the ATM, Mr. Vuyo Zungula, and they are raising a number of issues from poor road infrastructure, bridges, youth unemployment, especially in rural areas. And when we spoke to the young people, they also raised the issue of crime. People in rural areas are always complaining about police stations that are far from them. That makes it very difficult for them to get the services from the police station. And you will also remember that we are in the area of Ngqeleni local municipality that includes the towns of Ngqeleni and Libode, and these towns are facing a number of issues, including water and sanitation, as well as poor road infrastructure. The event is yet to start because when we arrived here, they were still erecting some banners, and we are also told that the founder himself will be joining the supporters and the leadership of the ATM as time goes by. But as you can see, Griselda, the weather is not so good in this side. It is beginning to drizzle and it's a little bit chilly and cold, but that has not deterred the supporters and people from around this village of Pauline to come and support this gathering here. Back to you in studio.
All right, Fundiswa, thank you very much indeed. Live to us from Ngqeleni, that's of course in the Eastern Cape, where that rally, of course, is taking place. Members of the community, supporters, and members, of course, of the ATM have come out there to listen to Vuyo Zungula, as, of course, he will address members and supporters of that political party there on a